So this is now the deanery of Palermo University. But in 1300, when it was first built, was actually the house of the Prince of Chiaramonte and his family. And as you can see, he has got a very classic Norman style with what is the influence of the Arabic architecture. And you can see this particularly in the arches, both outside and particularly this window. But what is very classic of 1400 of Sicilian architecture and other parts of Italy is this type of ceiling, which we call a cassettoni, which I think is cofted in English. And in those days, many people could not read, especially in Sicily. And so this kind of figurative art was the way to tell stories about events who were happening in those days. And so some of these, which is actually very, how can I say, avant-garde, are actually celebrating women. So you will see there are lots of female faces depicted in a modern way, because during the Normans' domination of Sicily, women had a very important role in society. Things went bananas later when the Spanish took over, but you will hear about this later. And also you have some stories of the era of the Carolinge cycle with the knights fighting and heroic gesture, and even King Arthur is, unfortunately, I think the King Arthur one are not as visible as the other are towards the back. This has been actually recently restored, so you can see it at its best after, I mean, I haven't seen it as well as this for 30 years, so we're quite lucky to be able to be in this room. Unfortunately, when the Spanish took over in 1600, this was taken away from the Chiaramonte family. And in fact, earlier on, actually, I should say, when the Aragona won the first battle of the beginning of the Spanish domination, took over this palace from the Chiaramonte family, and the Prince of Chiaramonte was decapitated in the square that you see outside, which wasn't as beautiful as it is now. It was a swamp at the time. And this became then the actual headquarters of the Spanish Inquisition. So any bad behavior is not tolerated in this building. Since 1400, you went down in the prisons, very bad things happen afterwards. So it's very interesting because although the Spanish Inquisition is called Spanish Inquisition, this is where it all began, because at the time we were under the Aragona family. It wasn't a very friendly Spanish. Any Spanish here? One. Sorry about this. But I mean, you can be Sicilian. Not many Sicilians are very fond of the Spanish domination, but also you have contributed to wonderful history and architecture. So you've done something very good as well, so don't worry too much. So I hope you enjoy being in this palace, because it's also the deanery of the university. Of course, there are offices, so we need to be, mindful of that when we go up and down. And you will hear more about me, but now it's my pleasure to actually hand over the microphone to our host, who represents the Dean of Palermo Medical School, who is the king of the castle, as you would say. Professor, buongiorno.
Buongiorno a lei. Thank you very much. So, good morning to everybody. My name is Ada Maria Florena. I'm Vice Rector for Working Well-being and Livability in this university, and it's my honor and privilege to welcome you all on behalf of our Rector, Professor Massimo Idiri, who's not in Palermo today, for the opening day of the Faith Mediterranean Mosley Forum. I'm a pathologist in my first and real life, so I had a look of your activity. I've seen that since 2007, the forum has organized many meetings focused on the updates on all the branches of the psychiatric and psychology disorders. And so I know you have a very strong program in these 3 days. So, and you're, of course, it's time to start. So just a few minutes. Welcome. I had prepared something on this seat, but I know which is we are lucky because having the privilege and the chance of working here in the Palazzo Steri is really a privilege. Palazzo Steri has a long history. It was a seat of the Inquisition, the Tribunal of Inquisition, and so there are the jail, the prison, who are, this is a museum, so it's, if you have some time, perhaps the opportunity of visit the whole complex, it could be a fun idea. And then it was, it hospitals the La Dogana, the officers for the custom officers, thank you so much, in the past century. And so, and now it's of the university, in the own of the University of Palermo, and the seat of the rectorate. So, just really to welcome you all. I hope the weather will be fine, better than last days. Everybody was very worried, but hopefully we'll have some good weather now. And so please enjoy, because meetings are enjoyable also than instruction and education, educational but also enjoyable. Enjoy Palermo, naturally, and please, and welcome once again here in Palermo. Thank you so much. It's up to you. Yes.
Thank you.
So, toilets. This is a very important topic usually at conferences. So if you come out and you go round the courtyard, you'll see a green sign that also indicates stairs down. That's where the toilets are. So they are on the same floor. These are the toilets we'll be using, because there are toilets potentially on other floors. If you're desperate, tell me and I'll direct you to upstairs. But ideally, we should use this one, because as I said, there are also offices. You get a coffee break. People have asked me for water. We try to be environmentally friendly, so I'm not producing hundreds of thousands of plastic bottles of water. But a coffee break, you would have coffee, water, and things. If you don't have your water bottle, there is a bar in the square, happy to direct you. If you're desperate, you might share it with the speakers, but don't share the glasses, just use the water you need. Anything else, feel free to ask me. The IT staff is at the end, and now soon we will show the password that you can use. And remember, this forum comes with a cognitive test. There is a different venue for the first 3 days. So you get the date wrong, that's a low score. So if you haven't read my email, I will recommend you go and read it, and make sure that tomorrow you don't turn up here, because this is not where we are. But I'll say this again throughout the day. And then Erika, Professoressa Lacascia, is actually our host from the Department of Psychiatry. Erika.
Thank you, Marta. Good morning. Welcome to everybody to Palermo and to University of Palermo. I bring you greetings from Professor La Barbera. He is the head of a psychiatry unit of General Hospital, and he is out for family reasons, but he is very happy to host you again. Every year we are happy because it's a moment of instruction, of education, and to develop new joints and a new friend. I really want to thank Robin and Marta, because we are friends and we are colleagues, and every year is a new moment to stay together. For anything you need, you can ask me, and I will be happy to help you. Enjoy Palermo and enjoy Maudsley Forum. Thank you very much.